Alright, hello everyone. So today is Wednesday. Now, just a heads up, Thursday and Friday there are not going to be any videos, okay? So no videos on Thursday and Friday because I'm out. Okay, but you already have the swing days and the swing hours. So today, 21st of May. Now let's start off with gold. With gold, I said we should go to 3,310 if the market goes up. I said you can go up with the market if we have a breakout, okay? Or you can buy the lows, sell the highs, because yesterday, remember, I marked in two arrows here. And we had we could go, I said we could go in this direction or down. We didn't know. But we don't have to know. Okay, we don't have to know the direction because the market breaks out and then we have a direction. So yesterday I put two arrows like this and I said, guys, if we go up in that direction, we've got room to go into 3,310. I said, if we fall, we can come down, okay, into there. So one way or the other. As you can see now, this is really good because weekly pivot, it's a trading hour. They bought there before, okay? So if you were unsure about that, I don't blame you. But this was another trading hour here in the New York session. What happened? Trading hour, market just boom, goes up, okay, and breaks out. So if you followed that through, that was a breakout trade. There was also a breakout trade here. And I said yesterday as well, if you look at the posts, I said Tuesday can be a flow day. Look, just flowing in one direction. Okay, so now Thursday I've already put the hours there and we have a breakout on the gold. So this should keep pushing up, which is nice and easy. All you have to do is if it comes back anywhere, like closing the gaps here, then you can push forward. The good hours to trade today is going to be between 9 and 10. You got to be careful. You have to be careful at 11 to 11:20. Another good hour for adjustment level is 3:40. Okay, that's an adjustment level. And also yesterday, as you can see here, right, this was 3 o'clock. Okay, so that was like the market, as you can see, just at 3 o'clock, making that move to the upside. Okay, just there. So it was a bit interesting. And then I did say we should go into 7 o'clock, I think, or 8 o'clock. Well, 6 o'clock. Here we are, 5:45 to 6 o'clock here, and then the market carrying on into 9:30 and then closing. Nice and easy. Okay, so I hope you guys got in on this one. And we still have room to go on the weekly. Now we can do 74, but that's a bit far off, okay? But this is a good flag on the weekly, flag formation on the weekly. So now we've confirmed that any pullback into a trading hour is good. So if the market comes back down to the green line here, okay, this is your green line there. Basically, you can just do this. Okay, if we dip back down here, then you can also go. All you have to do is just close the gap and then go forward. If it doesn't close the gap, okay, sooner or later it will come to close the gap. We can buy that again as well. So it's not a rush deal, but that's how it is. And I hope the PST helped you out here. As you can see, the targeting is really, really good. It does require sometimes to leave it open overnight. You don't have to, okay? You don't have to. You can just, come to a trading hour or wait for the closing hours of the session and just, say, I'm going to get out. You don't have to wait for the targets, but the targets more often than not get hit. Let's take a look at the euro dollar. Euro dollar, same thing, guys. Monday, Tuesday, remember, we're long on this one, and I hope you guys got to the target. I talked about the target, 13.20. Trading hours yesterday, look at the trading hours yesterday right there. market makes a low, and pretty much it. There's nothing else to talk about. So market goes up, pulls back, and goes into the target zone there. So that's also all good. Trading hours here, as you can see, that's the trading hour happening. And then another trade hour, market pulling back, another trade hour here. Okay, so hopefully you guys did good on this one. Yesterday, as you know, I was in the euro dollar, so no dramas there. Okay, on that one. Now the second position I got stopped out with a profit because it came a little lower than I anticipated, but this was a trading hour as well. So if you traded at this trading hour, you should have been okay as well. All right, a bit more trickier than gold, but at the end of the day, as you can see, it's just common sense. All right, let's take a look at now what to do with the euro dollar. Well, we're going up, so next swing day on the euro dollar, when the next swing day on the euro dollar is, you have to be careful at the targets here, 58, 57, 59. So your targeting is going to be 1336, 67, 77, 87 zone. Okay, so it still has a bit of room to go out. If it comes back, you can buy it. Okay, you can buy it. If you're using the PST, you can also do this and just buy on the line when it comes back. Okay, and then push it up, kind of thing. So yeah, that's another way of doing it, and then that's your target zone there. All right, so that's basically it. Okay, euro dollar weekly, probably heading back into there. Okay, now there is still a bit of room to come back here, but that doesn't have to be now. Okay, the market's still going up. Impulse flag formation, just going up. So on pullbacks, you want to follow it to the upside, but don't buy the tops. Okay, don't buy up here. If you're going to buy, let it come down to a place where the market took off. If it doesn't, then don't do it. Okay, so be mindful and sensible. SB 500, SB 500, Dow Jones, Nasdaq. We had Monday, Tuesday, swing day. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday. Monday makes the high, Tuesday on the Dow, on the Nasdaq. So this is a zone. I did say you need to sell this zone if you're going to trade this. Well, I would be selling the zone anyway. So not much to talk about. If you played your cards right, I guess, at the trading hours. Okay, so this is yesterday. If we take a look at yesterday, 225. Look, 225 is right there, guys. All right, so market sold. How do you measure something like this? This is where the market sold. Boom. Okay. Market goes to London. London sells. Comes into New York, and then New York selling off. That's 225 to 3 o'clock. Selling off. 10 past 5 is there. 540 is on that bar. Okay, so sold, bought, and then 625. 625 is on that bar there. Market sells off. 935. This is your 935. Market dips down, and that's it. Okay, a bit volatile, but still, selling the highs would have been okay. Even if you went wrong and bought the low, because that's where they bought, that's where they sold, right? We're in this zone here, as you can see, okay? And then we have a breakout, pull back, sell off. So that's basically it. We just probably want to be following that through, okay? Selling the highs. Wednesday. Let me just check here. We need to be careful from 6 to 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock isn't a bad time, okay, for Wednesday. 3:40 is not a bad time. Now the market can break down, okay, so from 4 o'clock going towards 7, expect a bit of volatility for a breakout. But the target is going to be 10 o'clock. Okay, 10 o'clock, and it's going to be energetic, and it's an adjustment level. So make sure you're trading with stops, because if it goes, there's energy behind it. Okay, there's going to be a push, there's going to be a drive behind it, so be mindful. The target should be 10 o'clock. Okay, so if we find direction, that'll give you like a few trading hours to follow to the closing as well. Let's take a look at Dow Jones, NASDAQ, and Bitcoin. Now with Dow Jones as well and NASDAQ, we had Tuesday swing days. Let's see how they panned out. Tuesday. All right, so yeah. So this was a zone I said we could sell at. So this is the sell zone. I still say we can sell. So not much to talk about. Okay, market goes down, comes up, and that's it. Okay, there's still looking like a little bit of a gap there with the white dotted line I drew there. Okay, the dashed line. But at the end of the day, it's a swing day. Just be mindful of the target 57. Okay, we already talked about that. 43,524 on the daily. Now on the daily, if you're selling, which is the idea, you got to be careful when we get into this zone. Okay, and that's going to be 58 to 57. So that price zone is 42,335 to 42,182. Okay, so 42,335. Yeah, this didn't turn into a runner. It broke down. If you were following this, and I did say this thing will break down sooner or later. Why? Because remember from our training, if you got a runner, sooner or later that runner is going to break down and come down and take everybody out. And that's exactly what happened. So if you follow this through, this would have been a good trade for you if you did exactly what I did here. This is your runner, okay? It's a swing day, so Tuesday. Swing hour, 225. There you go, 225. What is that? It's a goodbye kiss. Another swing hour. When was that happening yesterday? 10 past 5. 10 past 5 is down here. Okay. So we are 3 o'clock, 225 to 3 o'clock. That's your 3 o'clock there. So market, New York, goodbye kiss, trading hour, selling off, okay, and then coming down. And you can see the gap here as well. So market aiming to sell off and close the gap, which is fine. Okay, so today as well, all you got to do is any pull up you can sell off on the daily, the closing. If we have a trading hour like 9 o'clock, if we're up somewhere like on this line on the daily, selling is okay. Okay, so we've got 9 o'clock, 9:30 is there. Okay, and then you can push that down to those levels I talked about. So be mindful. We should head towards that 57 zone, 42,182, 6262, 42. $182. Okay, but this is where the weekly pivot is. So the weekly pivot is going to be a target for you. Okay. NASDAQ. Okay, NASDAQ Tuesday swing day. Same kind of thing. Okay, same kind of thing here. So we should be kind of sliding down into the weekly as well here. Okay, so that's the zone. Still a bit of a gap here, so you have to be careful. This is the support, 67, 21,258, 21. Let's do this, 21,258. So this is where the market needs to break down. If we break below the low of yesterday, any pullback is legit to sell. But you know what a breakout is, right? We break out and we muck around here. We're not going straight up, okay? So, but as you can see, this is like drying out. So we should be heading downwards, I'm thinking, okay? Now, because Monday, Tuesday, because there's a gap here, just be mindful, because this is a sandwich zone. If the market goes back up into 70, which is 537, that's also a sell zone. Okay, because we're in a bit of a sandwich here. So trade the edges, okay, because NASDAQ has a gap. Now, if we're wrong, okay, if we're wrong, the market, because this is Monday, right? Monday was from the SP 500, Monday, Tuesday, so this should go down, but keep an open mind for this. All right, so you're going to have to make sure you put your stop losses in. If it breaks, I'll feel a bit more comfortable to push it down. Okay, I don't trade the NASDAQ, but those of you who do, that's the way to go. All right, so yesterday's PST, this is where it was. Today it's here, and we're in a bit of a sandwich zone, like I said. So the highs you can sell and push down. You can also wait to see where the direction is going after a trade hour. You see, this is the trade hour, okay? So you could have sold off or you could have bought, right? Because trading hour doesn't tell us we're going up or down. So what you can do is just sit tight and say, okay, I'm going to see where we're breaking out, okay, which way we're breaking out. And then you could trade that as well. It's also an option, but it's a matter of personal preference when it comes to trading. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Now with Bitcoin, we had Monday, swing day. So this thing is not coming down, is it? This was Monday, so Monday it made a high. We're still in those highs. It hasn't gone any higher. Okay, so it hasn't closed above the high of Monday. We're still in that zone. So So I don't know. All right, with Bitcoin, I don't know. If you want to buy it, you can. If you want to sell it, you can. Okay, but I always say don't buy the highs. Okay, so I'm not going to do that. I don't do Bitcoin anyway, but if I was to do that, I would not be buying the highs. Also, like I said, if this turns into a runner, which it looks like it is looking like a runner, okay, as you can see, sooner or later this runner will break down to close the gap and wipe everybody out. So be careful. Even if you're going to buy it, buy it on a pullback, but this is already done targets. So maybe just a slightly higher target here at the 80, 108, 006. Other than that, though, buying and holding from the tops is just not my thing. Okay, and that's basically it. You can wait for the next swing day, when they are. So you can sit tight and wait and take it from there. Okay. Yeah, other than that, I got nothing to say here on this one. Okay. Yesterday, swing hours, 10 past 5 here, right at the low. Tuesday, what do we have? 7 o'clock. 7:15 to 6:45. That's 7:15 to 6:45. Yeah, a little bit of an up move. And that's 225. Let's see. $2.15, $2.25, 3 o'clock is going to be there. Right, so as you can see, it's a bit tricky. Okay, very choppy, very tricky. So trade the edges, sell the highs at the tops. If you're going to sell, do it that way. If you're going to buy, make sure you're at a solid support. If you're going to sell, do it at a resistance or a PST level. And that's all I can say. It's just like, yeah, not the best thing to trade. All right, one more reminder. No video tomorrow and Friday, okay, because I'm at a congress and I won't be around. All the best. Have a good day.